ACWA Power see potential for green hydrogen or green ammonia exports from Indonesia to regional or global markets?
Yeah, so as I was saying before, for me, Indonesia is not only a country play, it's a regional play. And Indonesia has so much potential and so much resources that it can really be the leader in green hydrogen, not only for itself, but to export to Singapore, Japan, South Korea. These countries are all looking to buy green hydrogen or green fuels. So we already, as ACWA Power, is into green hydrogen business. We're already working very closely with Pupuk. We have a project, it's a smaller project, almost around $500 million investment, which is in its very advanced development stage. That project would be the first project in the region to produce green ammonia to be exported. So that's just the beginning. We are also looking at other locations, other sites to find other viable solutions for green hydrogen business. And we feel Indonesia is in the right geography to and has the right resources to take to bring green hydrogen as a sustainable business in the country. Like many other new technologies and new businesses, you of course need a lot of support from the government to develop the policy framework, the regulations around it. And I think we are very lucky because the government is pushing for green hydrogen as well. And we are working very closely to make the first project a success.
Okay, so based on ACWA Power's observation, what are the biggest challenges Indonesia faces in developing renewable energy? How ready is Indonesia transmission and distribution infrastructure to accommodate large-scale renewable capacity?
In my opinion, I think the biggest challenge would be the fact that it's an island country, like made of a lot of islands. And sometimes what happens is some renewable sources that you have are in some islands, but the demand is in another island. So I think that's the biggest challenge that Indonesia faces. So far, I think they've managed it really well. The second challenge I would say is about the transmission distribution that you mentioned, right? Because whichever country has announced a very dynamic, very aggressive renewable energy plan, it's a prerequisite that they have to push the upgradation of the transmission infrastructure. It has to go hand in hand. So you cannot have renewable energy but without a very strong transmission system. So I think these are the two challenges I would say that Indonesia has. But as I mentioned before, Indonesia is blessed with so many resources, renewable resources, that if you build a very good fuel mix around it, you can actually provide green power or renewable power wherever you want. And now also I think we can take advantage of other countries because there are lots of countries who already are maybe a little bit more advanced in terms of energy transition. So we can learn from them. Every country has their own problems. Not everybody is blessed like Indonesia to have all the resources, but everybody has found some solution that works for them. So I think Indonesia, with the current leadership and with the current clear vision, I think is going to overcome these challenges. In the end, all the investors need and all Indonesia need is large-scale projects in the country.
Okay, so does ACWA Power have any concrete policy recommendation for the Indonesia government to make renewable energy investment more attractive, such as related to subsidies, tax incentive, PPS scheme, and also the state guarantees?
Yeah, so I think honestly the power sector in Indonesia works. The regulations in place, the power purchase agreement is bankable. Companies already, multinationals already have invested in this country for long. So I think there is no such suggestion to, change any policy. My only suggestion is that we need to move fast. We need to build scale. The ambitions are really big. If you look at PLN's 10-year plan, they want to add 70 gigawatt in 10 years, out of which 40 gigawatt is renewable energy, plus, or in addition to this, there are some storage and other projects. That's a huge investment. 40 gigawatt of renewable means $40 billion investment, roughly. in the next 10 years. We are happy to invest. We are here to invest in, and we are committed, as you know, $10 billion along with Danantara. Now we want to see those projects in the market so we can, help in this energy transition.
Okay, so looking ahead, does ACWA Power plan to develop large-scale project in the solar, wind, or hybrid energy plus storage sectors in Indonesia?
It's going to be hybrid. In the end, it's not going to be one single source that's going to solve your problem. So it has to be hybrid. Some projects that we are doing are purely solar, but at the same time, some projects that we are working on are solar plus battery, because in the end, if you want to replace coal, which is a base load 24/7 production, you need to have a mix of multiple sources of renewable energy to replace that coal plant. So, in fact, one of the plants that we propose to PLN is a peaker plant, which means that during the day it has solar, but for 4 hours during evening we are using the battery to produce power. So there has to be a multiple different types of hybrid solutions that will solve the problem of having more and more or the problem of not having enough renewable and to replace the coal.
Okay, so ACWA Power also have extensive experience in public-private partnership, PPPs, across various markets. How does the company view the PPP framework in Indonesia's energy sector, and what improvement could be made to make such collaboration more effective and bankable?
I think as I said, power space, I think the PPP is working. There is a mechanism in place. If you go into green hydrogen, it's a new sector. So here, there is a need for the government to define the PPP regulation. And then when you go to water diesel, it's a very new idea, or water is a very new concept altogether. So we are at the think tank stage right now. Let's think of how we want to tackle this problem. So I think it's different with every sector that you want to discuss. I think, honestly, the PPP model or structure is not new for Indonesia. So it is just sitting down and defining what would work for this particular sector. And we are here to help. We are always in touch with key government stakeholders. And everybody is open to feedback, and we always sit down. We give examples of how we are doing it in other countries. We just, for example, water diesel, there are countries which signed their first water supply agreement with us this year. So we are trying to bring that experience of how that country developed the PPP model, and how we were able to implement that very fast in this country as well.